Welcome to Car Scene Korea. I introduce newly released Genesis. Right there, Hyundai and Kia cars. And the car I have for you today is Genesis GV60. But I've covered it already extensively, so go check it out on this car right here. And the reason why I came down to Genesis Studio Hanam here is because they have the colors that I have failed to capture, starting with the one on the back, and I'll be going through all the colors that they have up here. If you are coming in for the review and the detail of the car, go check it out on that car right there. Interior, exterior. The only thing that I am missing at this point is essentially the drive, but I'll get my hands on that as soon as possible. Without further ado, let me get into it and show you all the colors of the Genesis GV60. And this color right here is one of the 4 brand new colors that Genesis has introduced with Genesis GV60, Sao Paulo Lime, the one I have right in front of us, Hanalma Mint, Atacama Copper, and Atacama Copper Matte. And this Sao Paulo Lime color right here speaks out loud that this car is driven by performance. It was the main character of the world debut when the GV60 first rolled out in the commercials. So that being said, this is Genesis's new signature color for its high performance electric vehicle, as it emphasizes the active and dynamic character of the vehicle. Let's go inside and show you the interior, and we have the same interior color that I have covered on my previous GV60 video. And the UI, the system is the typical Genesis's, same thing, so it's not hard to play around, and you can just set everything at the tap of your finger. So right here, it will show me all the information about the car, the battery, the driving distance, and all. The steering wheel itself is also speaking out loud that this car is performance oriented, because the steering wheel is compact, quite, it feels just all right to do a sporty driving. And look at this. I love the boost button. It goes so well with the lime color right here. With this blue interior with the lime stitch, I absolutely love it. They have the neon stitch everywhere on the seats, on the steering wheel right here. And then look at that, the crystal sphere going along with this beautifully. I love this color. Unfortunately, I can't show you this operating. Again, it's in my previous video, so check it out over there. And right here is to recognize your fingerprint and biometrics to change your driver setup immediately. Instead of going through the displays to change all that, it's literally at the tap of your finger. Volume, tune, very direct and intuitive. When this AC is on, you can control everything. And the best part is, all these are physical buttons. I absolutely like that. Some of the buttons, I just prefer it the physical way. What's the case for you guys? Tell me about it. If you like the full digital buttons versus having some physical buttons. And that being said, there are also physical buttons within the steering wheel right here. The fact that the buttons got much bigger. Look at this. This is humongous. It's half of my size of my hand, and the buttons are right there where they need to be. The boost button, okay, it's a little difficult to reach over to the boost button as you are like doing a sports driving, something I can live with, because this is not something that you use like every time you drive, right? So more of the physical, practical buttons are sitting here. In comparison, my Veloster N has the boost button known as NGS, N-Grain Shift, which is located right here. So as I am driving, I can just reach for it right away and touch that button. It will change, of course, accordingly to the drive modes, and I can feel the bolsters squeezing and bolsters moving in different directions when I put the car into sport mode. When you press hold the drive mode, so you can go into my drive mode, where you can obviously personalize the drive mode. This is what it feels like, what it looks like sitting inside of the driver cockpit of GV60. And just, boy, look at that reflection on the back. I love that. The rest of the stuff, just the typical. I like the fact that they have
put this wireless charging on an angle, and also it's quite tight now, and that way when you are putting the car on a sporty driving, the phone does not fly around, and you get the both ventilated heated seats. Definitely what stands out the most from the center console would be this crystal sphere. A lot of people are asking if this is just a fancy thing that Genesis has come up with, but no, it is to show and let the driver know that the car is turned on. When the car is turned on, this will flip around and come up with dials that you can turn the car into reverse, neutral, and drive. And there is a parking button right in the middle right here that you can press and turn the car into the park mode. So that means when you see a crystal sphere facing up, that means the car is in parking mode. However, when the sphere is turned around, that means the car has been fired up, it's good to go, it's either in drive or neutral or reverse mode. So that's what the sphere is for. It's a visual aid of letting the driver know that the car is turned on. You might think that is not something significant, but that helps a lot from time to time, and you know what I mean if you've been driving electric vehicles. Just a good old dial that you can also push, and then something that we've been seeing throughout the Genesis brand.
And Genesis trying to be sustainable, using it on various parts that is made with eco-friendly material and recycled materials. Starting with the seats that you see before you right here, the door mats, console armrests, and crash pads. And this right here is royal blue that I have before you, and this is the brand new emblem that has been implemented starting with Genesis GV60, especially with the G80 Sport. Use a lot of copper colors on the grills, on the headlights, so we are actually quite familiar with copper colors on Genesis brand. So starting with the GV60, the exterior color will also come in that Atacama copper as well as Atacama copper matte. Atacama copper, starting with the Genesis GV60, will be the signature color of the brand, so we'll be seeing much more of that for the future Genesis to come. So what do you guys think about the color of the Genesis GV60? Like the super bright neon color that was showcased on the commercial like that? Just look at that. Actually, you can drift this car. Genesis GV60 comes with drift mode. Just look at that, just like that.
Hidden drift mode.
That is insane. Hidden drift mode.
How you experience performance.
That's gonna be so much fun.
I'm your GV60.
And I actually have drifted, Ioniq 5, so I know what this car platform, the EGMP, is completely capable of. So just looking at that alone, Genesis is actually pursuing performance, having fun behind the wheel, and that is what Genesis GV60 is for. And we cannot miss out the good old white color, or uni white. And this has been one of my favorite color ever since GV80. So I showed you the Sao Paulo lime, royal blue, and uni white. They all have, very different color spectrum right there. One being super bright, one being toned down, and the good old white. Tell me which one you guys like the best. Look at that window. So that's how much angled and slanted it is. And it's actually dual pressed, so the noise cabin is reduced to the maximum. But just look at this. Take a moment to appreciate this interior. I absolutely love the bright interior colors that Genesis is coming up with recently. Starting with the Genesis EG80, G80 electrified. Also go check that out. I love the super white, bright interior that Genesis is coming up with. As I have told you, these are all recycled materials, but they have come up with a brilliant way of making and giving this suede feeling. This also feels like any other, synthetic leather. And just look at this pattern, also right up here. And I can actually feel the texture as well. The buttons as well. The first time seeing this design on Genesis GV60 here. I know because of the lighting, it's not actually giving us the best color right here, but geez, I love this color. The green touch
with this bright interior color as well. What do you guys think about it? There were a lot of people who didn't really like that 2-spoke steering wheel that they had on Genesis GV80, but this is also a 2-spoke, but at the same time, it feels very, very different. Honestly, right before I just mentioned about the 2-spoke wheel, I did not even notice that this was actually a 2-spoke steering wheel. The crystal sphere right here, also in different color. As you can hear, this is very solid.
So do let me know what you guys feel about this Genesis GV60. I absolutely love it. And like I have said, I cannot wait to test drive this amazing car.